So welcome back, guys. Now we are good. We've learned something. I hope you guys learned something from the part one. This is part two, and today we are learning this how to create this. So I'm going to show you since you guys know what everything does, what the coiling is, what freeze is. I've taught you the basics of how to create Afro in Onatrix. Now we are just going to jump and start doing this cool one. So let's start doing this. So I'm going to cancel this. I don't want to save this. And yeah, here we are. So this is Gina. Gina say hi. Anyway, so let's get started. So how I created this is that I created this in layers. So I did you can see we have the little afro that I did in the previous tutorial. That's the same technique I did in creating this, and I have this other one here. So I'm just going to show you real quick. Let me put this in perspective view. Okay, this is just my setup. I have here the camera, some lights, quick lights. Yeah, nothing too complicated. Anyways, this was done in ZBrush. I think I mentioned this in part one. This was done in ZBrush. I sculpted this in ZBrush, brought it to 3ds Max to do the rendering, the shading, and the rendering too. I should stop talking and get to this tutorial already. I should start doing this tutorial. Shut up, Genesis. Anyways, so I'm going to just turn off this, and I'm going to turn off this. So what I did was I selected the region of this hair, of this Gina's head, and I detached it as a clone. So I have a scalp. So I'm just going to isolate this. Sorry, one sec. I'm just going to isolate this so you guys can see this. So this is the scalp I'm going to be working with. I will do the same thing I did in the previous one. I'm going to duplicate this, copy, and turn it off. So we have this. So let's get started. So we did like last time. We're going to go to OX guides from surface. So we have this. We go down to guides length. I'm just going to make this smaller, and we're going to take this to 150, I think. And randomness, yeah, I think we're going to do about randomness. Yeah. And let's get our settings and our renders set up. So we're going to go to V-Ray Onatrix modifier, and we're going to get the settings, OX render settings, and we'll put this on this, and the settings. I think this is good. This is good. I think this is good. So we'll put this. We take this down. If you guys came from part one, you know this. You know all this. So I'm just going to start explaining what it does. So just a little bit, and I'm going to add a coiling. Yes, this coiling. I can see this. I'll keep coiling. Okay, this is nice. Oops. Yes. Okay. What this standard deviation is actually randomizer. Just to randomize it a bit. Randomize the magnitude. I think randomize the magnitude and the phasing a bit. So I think let me just show you what it does. So you can see what it does. I don't really use it that much because it messes things up sometimes, and the scale just, you see, it's just giving you a random value. You could use it, but I just want to put everything in low value, just very low. That's something like this. So I don't want to mess with it too much. It always messes stuff up. I don't like the result at the end of it. Anyways, that's just me. You can play around with it, and if you get the result, if you like the result, fine, do that. So I'm just going to call this a little bit more, and let's see, let's take the magnitude a bit more. Okay, this is good. So now I'm just going to go to my freeze like I did in the last one. Yeah, we got 3 freeze, 5 like the last one. So you can see what the chaos is doing here. So you can just angle it a little bit more. So it looks like, what is this? So you can see, let's reduce the scale. So let's reduce the freeze to 0 so you guys can see this. So just look at what it's doing to each strand. Okay, I'm taking the freeze up. So freeze is kind of trying to make it messy. Now the scale is going to make it like crazy. So just tangles it, and that's what happens to our air. Actually, an African air has this amount of craziness. So you can put it 5, put it 3. I think that works. So that's that. And we go to coin. We go to, now what we're gonna do is create the air actually. So we go to OX air from guides. So that will create this. So usually what you should do is go from OX guides from surface, then OX air from guides, then OA render settings, then V-Ray on attribute. So you should put this up here. Like I said before, it's based on stats. So you put this up here. Yeah. So this should be at the top. The settings and the V-Ray modifier, because V-Ray is the overall thing. That's where the final result is going to be. So that should be at the top. So then you stack it up. You just keep stacking. The freeze should be second to the last, because that's the final blend, the naturalness, while the coiling is where the work is. And yeah, this is where you create the air. So you can make it 10,000 or 50,000. So I'm going to make it 20,000. I'll make 25,000. So we can get more mass there, more air mass there. So we can see the chaos going up. So much chaos. And that's all, guys. That's it. We're done. You could stop this tutorial right now if that's what you wanted to do. And let's go to, let's off this. Let me see this. Let's make it smaller. Yes. Yep. So one is back. Anyways, that's it. So let's end isolation. So right now on our character's head, let me off this light. It's all distracting. It's distracting. It's distracting. So on our character's head, we can see our Afro. So if we render this right now, go to camera, render this real quick with oops. Let's give it 1 sec to calculate, so we can see this. I'm just going to use what's the name, an IPR, so I can get a faster result. Then I'll come back when the render is done, because it's going to take a little bit while. I don't want you guys sitting watching my system calculate shit. So much better. That was the problem. There's so much twisting, and I think the strands are actually too big. The strands are really big. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to reduce how big in width the strands are. So let's do that. We go to settings and we take this down to 1.2, 111, 0.1. Yeah, I think this should do it. Let's make it 0.14, and let's do this again. I got my what is this called, follow mouse clicked on, so my rendering will focus on where the mouse is. Helpful tip for you guys who are just rendering in V-Ray for the first time. Let's do this. Come on, computer, do this. Yeah, looking better, guys. Boys and girls, it's looking better. It's looking awesome, boys and girls. So, okay. Let it render. Let it finish rendering. Then we'll come back and go to the next step. Okay, guys. It's rendered. It's looking nice. It's looking really nice. We still have some weirdness here. We can just go and maybe reduce the coiling a bit, just to make it better, because it looks better here, but it doesn't look all that good in the front. So you could just go to the coiling and just play with the coiling a bit. So you can see it's looking weird. And let me see. Yeah, just play with coiling a bit. That should fix the problem. Yeah. So I'm just going to jump to the next step, which is really interesting. The next step is the outer layer of the air. So which is this. So what I did was, I knew I couldn't get this style with this method I'm using, which I have to increase the length of the air. I have to do some really complicated stuff, and you know, guys, I hate doing complicated stuff. So I just made it simple for me. So what I did was, I went to ZBrush and I sculpted this. Let me isolate this so that you guys can see it. I sculpted this in ZBrush, and what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to turn this to air. Actually, I'm going to put the air on the surface of this, so the air is going to follow this craziness out here. So that way we get this result here. You see, we have this you get this thing here. I don't know if this makes sense to you guys. So that's what I did. I went to ZBrush, I sculpted this, and now I'm going to just add the same technique I did with the air. So better yet, let me show you a very fast way so that we can end this tutorial fast. And end isolation. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to shift click on this, copy, click on this, paste this. So now, there we go. That easy, like that. We got it. That's all. Not complicated. You've gotten your Afro. You're good. You can just render this now, and let's just go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go to this. And oops. Gina is right there. So what we're going to do is go to the material. You know how we did it in part 1? We went to just, for those guys who just skip to part 2 just for teaching sake. Go to V-Ray Air material. You click here. You go to black air shiny, and you paste that. So let's take this black air shiny, and you send that there, and that's it. So we can render now. IP out. Okay, guys, rendering is almost done. So you can see you're getting the same result. Nothing too fancy, nothing too complicated. It's easy. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I did a lot of work in mine since it's a tutorial. I'm not doing that much work, but I did a lot of work with mine, and I just wanted you guys to get the gist. So I want you guys to go. I want you guys to go and play with the sentence a bit. Just go play with this. Uh, just play around with the freeze, the coiling, and just play around with that and get different kind of results. You remember the African hairstyle is coily, it's not straight, and you need freeze to give it that messiness. The African hairstyle is messy, and I can literally show you a couple of examples. Oops, let me bring this. I can show you a couple of examples. You can see this. It's messy. It's coily. It's not straight. Uh, Messy, coily. It's just the same effect. Yeah, just same effect. Just the same effect. So that's it. It's messy. That's just it. So if you want to get this kind of result, you just have to increase the amount of air from OX air from guides here, and just maybe put it to like maybe 50 or 60,000, and reduce the coiling a bit, and reduce the magnitude of the coiling from let me see. You reduce this a bit, and you will probably get this effect here, and increase the amount of freeze. That way you can get different variations of hairstyle, black hairstyle. So that's it. I hope you guys learned something. If you have any question, please drop it in the comments below. I will answer it. And if you have any suggestion for my next tutorial, whatever you want me to do, if I can get a lot of comments, I will do that. So that's it. Do this good stuff. Like, subscribe, all of good loving. I love you guys. Thanks and peace.